and the Portuguese sailors. Actually, our Portuguese guitar, they say, come from the English lute. And it's a music based on the feelings of life. We can talk about the longing, the Portuguese melancholy, sadness, love, passion, lost love, jealousies, happiness. Everything is included. Everything we make part of life, we can sing in this music.
And how did you learn it?
I started singing Fado at 5 years old because my parents, they had a small taverna in one of the most traditional Fado neighborhoods in the center of Lisbon, Mouraria. The name comes from the Moorish. And there they used to do some Fado weekends. And I started saying I would like to sing, so I started singing with 5. At that time I didn't know how to read, so my father started making some kind of cartoons, and I started learning their poetry by the cartoons.
Your mother, I think, is from Mozambique, and,
yes,
and you were born there.
Yes.
What influence has she had on the music?
I was born in Mozambique too. I think I moved to Lisbon with the age of 3, but she always tried to keep alive that African roots. So she used to show me different types of music. My father used to show me Fado, but my mom used to show me Hugo Mazakela, Kassav, Miriam Makeba, rhythms from Africa and musicians from Africa. So, and Bossa Nova, Nina Simone. So I think in some way she was the one who opened a few doors, who made me at this time look to Fado in a different way and feel like this is music. We are dealing with music. Of course have a name, this is Fado, and people go for other music like this is Bossa Nova, this is jazz. They like to give names, but at the end we are talking about music. And music needs to be very well treated, so that's why I try to do it with Fado.
I mean, people describe you as breathing new life into it. What is it specifically that you've brought to it?
New life? Well, that's difficult to say what is new life. I think all the artists, they have their own personality, their own way of seeing music and their own way of expressing, because they are free to put their personality in the music they do. So that's what I do. Sometimes some music, they have a cliche, with the Fado singers, they completely use black clothes, black hair. They are kind of statues on stage. I have my way of being on stage. I'm very sincere. I dance, I move, I talk with people. It's like receiving friends in my house.
Yes, critics have remarked on that, actually, your relaxed attitude, that it's almost like being invited into your sitting room.
Yeah, it's very good, because if you buy a ticket to try to see my music or to try to listen to my music, it's because you are trying to understand my culture, my language, and in some way try to understand me. So in some way you want to touch me. So if you want to touch me, you want to try to know me better, or in some way try to be my friend. So that's what I do. I shrink the theater or the hall, and let's be together. It's a very intimacy concert. It's with the strings, with the sound. I think people have fun. Well, all the tours running were very, very well here.
I mean, it has been incredibly well received all around the world, including English-speaking countries, although you never sing in English, I think. Why does it transfer so well?
I really don't know explain. With me happen, I know it's very difficult, this type of music enter in the United Kingdom, but with me happen, I don't know why. Maybe because we are talking in the last times a lot of globalization, and try to understand our neighbor and the different cultures. And we have so much in common, Portuguese people and the British people. We have a lot in common. The Porto wine, the English lute and the Portuguese guitar, the 5 tea, the 5 o'clock tea. We have a lot in common for so many centuries. So in some way I think we feel connected. And when I show my music, people don't feel like this is different. This is something we understand. And we are talking about Iceland, and Portugal is very isolated too, with all the Atlantic Ocean surrounded. So in some way I think we felt the same melancholy, we felt the same feelings. I think it's that.
You recorded this new album in Rio de Janeiro?
Yes, in Brazil.
Why?
Some musicologists, without knowing, I'm researching about Fado, and what I found is some musicologists say the first appearance of Fado, because of the slaves and the sailors, was in Brazil as a type of dance music, not to sing music. And when we lose Brazil, because Brazil was a colony of Portugal, our king had to return to Portugal with the slaves, with the sailors, with the court. And all the slaves and the sailors, they settled down in the that traditional neighborhoods. And that dance was too erotic because they used to dance with belly, and hips with hips, and was too erotic. So the dance was forbidden, and they started singing without knowing. I did the triangle. I was born in Mozambique. I went to live in Portugal, and I did this record in Brazil. So without knowing, the triangle is there. The triangle, we call that triangle lusophonie,